Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am a mildly smoked Pastor Joe Fox. I get on fitness kicks every now and then, right? Most of us, because most of us are Americans, and most Americans are too fat, most of us are out of shape. Present company included. And I want to talk about that again a little bit because most of you need to hear it. We should be able to, the Father created us to run, jump, climb, swim. Did I say jump? Yeah. Walk, fall down, get back up, all those things, right? He created our bodies to be able to do that, not to sit in some cubicle and type away all day, not to sit in a big old lazy boy with horrible posture and, stick calories in our yap. Not to go to McDonald's later today and upload this video and eat, a double Whopper with cheese or a quarter pounder or whatever they sell there, and French fries, and I'll get a frappe and a little ice cream sundae, and I'll have a Coke. I don't drink Coke, but you know what I mean, right? So today I went to run, and I set my chronograph, and I just run the trails around here and actually filmed some of it. I don't know, I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know how it turned out. So if it turned out okay, I will put it at the end of this. And if you hate it, you can open the video in the YouTube chunk and hit the speed, which is in the gear. Hit the gear and just speed it up and you'll like, zoop. It'll be like Pastor Joe was running really fast. But I set my chronograph and I kind of wanted to run for 45 minutes. And I run the roads and trails around here, and I got to a point where I thought I was about halfway done, maybe 30 minutes done, and I looked and it said 19 minutes. And at first I was a little dismayed because I thought I had run longer than that. I'm like, wow, I'm really tired for running 19 minutes. And then I thought, no, I'm doing really good. I've run a long way for 19 minutes. And then I realized my chronograph had stopped. I'd bumped it when I was reaching for something. So I actually think I ran a little bit longer than 45 minutes today. I think I probably ran close to an hour. Now when I say run, please do not picture me as a Kenyan doing the Boston Marathon. It is between what they used to call when I was in high school race walking and jogging, somewhere in there. I would like to get it between jogging and running, and I will, but nothing happens overnight. So it's a, and if I had the mind to, I would have started this video, run down there, turned around, and come running back up to the camera and go, whew, and then just edit out the part where I was running up there. I don't even know how to do that. So you get that. But let's talk about that a little bit. Yes, you can get in better shape. And there's a lot of ways to do it. And there's a billion-dollar industry on selling you stuff to get in better shape. And I'm telling you, you don't need any of it. You really don't. What you need to get in shape old school, according to Pastor Joe, is really only one thing that costs a decent amount of money, and that is good running shoes. You can't skimp on your running shoes. The heavier you are, the more you need to take your running shoes seriously. The best way to get a decent pair of running shoes is to go to a running store. Not a Foot Locker, but like a Fleet Feet, or they have different stores in different towns. But they usually advertise all our salesmen are runners. You walk in, all the people are skinny. They look like they run 10Ks every day because they probably do. and they know about feet. And the good ones will actually have you run on a treadmill in their store, and they'll look at you and they'll have you step on these pads. This is if you don't know what kind of shoes you need. And then they'll tell you, you should buy these. And they'll explain why. And quite frankly, after all that workup they did, you should buy their shoes, even though you can get them cheaper on the internet. Be cool. After that, you know what kind of shoes you need, buy them on the internet, right? But not all shoes are equal. I wear a size 10 4E in New Balance, but that doesn't mean I wear a size 10 wide in Nike. You know, I'd have to try Nikes on. I wear New Balance. So, get good shoes. When you get your good shoes, here's what you need to do. First, I'm not a doctor. So, disclaimer, if you're at all in doubt, go see a doctor first before you start any exercise program. I don't want you to go out and die. I'm giving you some ways to exercise so you don't go out and die. Get shoes, and then that's all you need. Whatever top you want to wear, whatever shorts you want to wear, it doesn't matter. You could wear cut-off Levi's, really, especially just starting out. You don't need to go buy $100 special Uber shorts. Start going. If you can jog, then jog. If you can't, boy, you're in sad shape if you can't jog. See that little building right there? That's about 70 yards away. Can you run from here to there really, really fast? If you can, then you can jog further, right? Leave your house and jog that way. If you can't jog, walk as fast as you can. It is a lie when they tell you you should be able to carry on a comfortable conversation. It should be mildly uncomfortable. No pain, no gain. Go that way or go that way. It doesn't matter. If you're in terrible shape, go 15 minutes that way, turn around and come back. And if you can jog and partway into that 15 out or 15 back you can't jog anymore, that's fine. Just walk as fast as you can walk. And if after walking for 3 to 5 minutes or whatever, you can jog again, go ahead and jog again. And you can do the jog, walk thing. Just do that. But go 15 minutes that way, turn around and come back. If you are really out of shape, and the thought of going for half an hour at an uncomfortable pace where you're sweating and breathing a little bit hard is just mortifying, start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes that way, 5 minutes back. Come on, a shower takes 10 minutes, right? If you're taking a good one. 5 minutes out, whatever you can do, do that. Push yourself on that. Here's the thing, I was thinking about this when I was running today. It was feeling good, by the way. I was really enjoying it because I was starting to get my endorphins kicking in, my runner's high. And I was remembering that when I was a serious runner, which we should all become fairly serious runners. I can't, my knees are bad. Tell me about bad knees. I used to jump out of airplanes. You get in tune with your body. You get to read your body signals constantly. It's like looking at a computer display. You know, oil pressure low, cylinder pressure high, you know, whatever. And you kind of modify your throttles and, you know, I'm not an aviator, but, you know, you do that stuff. And you will learn the difference between discomfort and pain. Pain is bad, discomfort is good. You should push yourself. If you're doing the same thing you always did, you're not going to get better, right? So you should be mildly uncomfortable. So go that way for 15 minutes, turn around and come back. If you can't make it 15 minutes, then go whatever you can go, turn around and come back. Get to the point, and do that starting out every other day. Every other day. After about 2 weeks of doing that every other day, you should be able to go 15 minutes out and 15 minutes back at a mildly slow jog at a minimum. At about that point, you want to extend it. You want to start going out, maybe go out 15 minutes and back 15 minutes. I'm not a scientist about this, but you could do that like 2 out of the 3 times a week, and the 3rd time of the week, shake it up a little bit. Go out 20 minutes, come back 20 minutes. That's a 30% increase, depending on how you look at it. Do that. And so then about every 2 weeks, up your distance by a chunk. Keep doing chunks like that. Let's say we do 15 minutes out and back every other day for 2 weeks. Then the second set of 2 weeks, you're going to do 15 out and back. Next 2 days, 15 out and back. Then you're going to do 20 out and back. Then you're going to do 15 out and back, 15 out and back, and 20 out and back, right? Next 2 weeks, 20 out and back, 20 out and back. Maybe 20 out and back again, or maybe 25 out and back. You just start extending a little bit at a time. And you'll start listening to your body, see what you can do. And so the bottom line there is you want to get to the point where you're running, jogging more than 20 minutes. Some of you, it's going to take a while to get there. That's okay. Once you start going more than 20 minutes, evidently what happens is you can go 20 minutes on one type of fuel in your body, just the fuel that's there, the sugars that are in your body or something, and I'm way outside of my depth right now, but there's a certain fuel that you use right now that's quick and hard, and for up to 20 minutes, that's what you're burning. After 20 minutes, you're kind of depleting that, and your body starts burning fat. Yes! That's what we're going for, fat. The key to losing fat is LSD. Acid man, gotta do LSD. Hey, vato. Long, slow distance. You gotta do long, slow distance. And so you're running at a level where you're not at that level. You're at the like that, long, slow distance. So that slow distance is long, and that speed is going to take you distance and over 20 minutes, right? Man, once you start getting up into the 40-45 minute range, you're burning fat. And that's a good thing for most of us, Certainly for me. So you got to start working your body, getting your aerobics and your anaerobics and your endurance and your wind, all that stuff. You got to get that going. You got to start running down stuff like that, or sidewalks. When I lived in suburbia, I used to run down sidewalks. I'd run down not busy residential streets. I'd get on power lines and run the power lines. I'd run on around lakes, wherever. I think if you give it a good college try, you'll be amazed at your progress. One can get better at jogging, I call it running, but it's really jogging, long distances pretty quick. If you have to start walking, start walking. It's okay. What we're going for is what it's doing to our heart and our lungs, not necessarily, how fast or how far we go. So if you just walking at a brisk pace for 20 minutes, it's going to have you, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I don't want to talk right now. Okay, then do that. That will be better for you, and you'll get better. Then the other thing we have to work on, especially as we get older, like this guy, is flexibility, right? You have to do a stretching program. It doesn't really do a whole lot of good to stretch before you exercise. I know what they told you in high school gym. They were wrong. You have to warm up first and then stretch. And unless you're going to be a sprinter or something like that, you don't need to stretch before you do your major event. If you're doing what I'm telling you to do, just hit the road and start logging in some miles. You can stretch when you're done. And don't stretch super hard, just stretch. I can bend down and touch the ground with the palms of my hands. I'm old. You should be able to do that at least, right? But stretch your body, make it move, so you don't get injuries and you don't tighten up, because what's going to happen when you start exercising more, your body's going to tighten up. You don't want to end up being too tight, so you want to be loose. Do upper body workouts, male and female. You should be doing push-ups. If you can't do push-ups in a good plank position doing push-ups, then be on your knees and do push-ups. 3 sets of push-ups, do some push-ups till you can't do anymore. Rest for about 30 seconds. Do push-ups till you can't do anymore. Rest for about 30 seconds. Do push-ups till you can't do anymore. Done. Do that 3 times a week. It's pretty simple. You'll see fast progress. Same thing with sit-ups, crunches. Do crunches for your gut. I know, I can hear people. Crunches are bad for you, or these are bad for you. They're not. Just bend your knees, do crunches. All those fitness gurus out there that are doing amazing things, you probably can't do that right now. But you can walk or jog, you can do push-ups, and you can do crunches. Start doing those. Drink water. Let's talk about water and running. I just got this vest, so I'm kind of trying it out. I don't really need it for what I did today. I have found with me, and it may be different for you, I drink some water, not a lot of water, you know, a glass of water before I go on a jog. And if I'm running an hour or less, which for most of you is a lot further than you're going to run for a while, if I run an hour or less, I don't need water, right? An hour for me takes about 6 miles, right? I'm running slow, 10-minute miles. It's not that far. It's only an hour. Go out, come back. When I come back at the end of an hour, I'm thirsty and I drink a lot of water, like I'm doing now. If you're gonna run more, if I'm gonna run more than an hour, and I haven't run more than an hour for a long time, for months, I start drinking, I have to carry water, and I start drinking water at least at 20-minute intervals. So every 20 minutes, I'm drinking water, because when I run an hour just drinking a glass before I start, when I come back, I'm depleted. I'm done, and I need to drink water. You don't want to get that way if you're running more than an hour. You don't want to get to depleted and then try and refresh as you go. And so if I'm running a long run, I drink about every 20 minutes. But other than that, you don't really need to worry about it. If you're not running an hour, drink before you go, drink when you come back. You don't need to have a big old belly of sloshing. Don't eat before you run. You know, you should run an hour or two after your last food intake. Once you start running real miles and start training for your first ultra marathon, yeah, fuel and food figures into that. But man, until you're running a couple hours, you don't even need to worry about that. All right, you just don't. So that's it. Run, push-ups, and sit-ups. You can make an amazing difference in your body. And then, of course, because, you know, I get on these kicks every now and then, and I share my life with y'all, right? You got to watch what you eat and drink. You have to watch the calories that are going in. Why are those calories going into this body, right? Why am I putting this in my mouth? Everything should be deliberate. I am far from being perfect on that. I am far from being great at that. But you should eat with a purpose. There is no purpose for Doritos. There is no purpose for French fries. There is no purpose. This one makes me very sad. There's no purpose for ice cream. There's not, except to give to your grandchildren and watch them be joyful. For you and me, ain't got no reason, ain't got no business eating ice cream. I loves me some ice cream, yes I do. There's really not, there's not a purpose for it. So you have to be deliberate. I used to be at the point when I drank beer. I don't really drink beer anymore. I mean, I don't not drink beer, but I haven't had a beer in a long time. I used to be at the point where if I hadn't run an hour, I didn't get a beer that day. I told myself I had to earn the beer. If I'd only run an hour and a half, I only got 1 beer. If I ran 2 hours, I could have 2 beers. Right? So that was kind of like my goal. There's goodness in that. There is absolutely no reason. I wish my wife watched my videos. She doesn't. There's absolutely no reason to drink soda, pop, of any kind. Diet or regular, but certainly not high fructose corn syrup. Woof. Now, to my wife's credit, I don't want to trash talk her here on Patreon. When we go to McDonald's and she gets a Coke, what she does is she gets a large Coke, this big, she fills it up to here with water, and then just puts a little bit of Coke in to change the color of the water. So I can't really fault her too much for that. But there's no reason to put that stuff in your yap. So watch what you eat. I have seen people fall into the, when they're trying to get fitter, lose weight, exercise, they'll go do something like do their walk or their run and a couple push-ups and sit-ups, and then they'll say, whew, I earned this. No, you didn't. Nope, nope, you didn't. You know how you can tell if you can eat that bowl of ice cream with the cookies around the side of it? Get naked and stand in front of your mirror. Nope, no ice cream for this guy. That's what you gotta do, right? The mirror is your judge, not the scale. Look in the mirror. You know what you should look like. If you don't know what you should look like, if you think it's okay to be portly because these are my survival rations, you need to go watch, I think you can probably get some clips on YouTube, the CrossFit Games. Men and women of various body types, one might say. You got short ones and tall ones. All ethnicities. Look at those bodies. That's what you want. That's survivor bodies. We could make the argument that a little bit of padding is good going into a starvation time, but for right now, let's put that aside and let's just get fit, shall we? Let's try that. Let's try and get strong, fast, and flexible. I'm really trying to figure out how to motivate those of you who aren't getting motivated by this, those of you who probably already turned this off. I used to be super fit. I am no longer super fit. I would like to be very fit. I'm working on it. You can do it too. Get out there and move your body, sweat, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. All right, I'll see you out there.